Guys, the red light is on. We are just live. Like Fight Bananas is churning out content. So pumped. Dave Van Auken, my main man Keelan. And when I brought Keelan this idea, I was like, man, Keelan, I feel like boxing is on a resurgence. It's 2024. We're kind of sliding into summer. There's so much happening in the world of boxing. I'm like, Keelan, you want to do something? You want to talk about boxing for just 30, 45 minutes straight? And you were like, yes, sign me up.com. Didn't you sing an awesome rap song on the chorus?
Uh, did I?
I used to pray for times like these, I think you said.
Oh yeah. Man like Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares.
Yes,
I used to pray for times like
yes,
these. Boxing
yes.
is back in the trenches, ladies and
We're back.
gentlemen. We're in a good place, and we've got it back.
We're back, guys. So we're going to call this Boxing Bananas. Keelan and myself, maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, 45 minutes, an hour, 30 minutes. We'll see where it goes. We'll see what you guys do track to. We got artwork. We're going to even damn an early stream. Yes, Jonathan, we are always grinding here in Fight Bananas. I'll see you this weekend in Island Fights. We'll be commentating, doing something, Island Fights 83. Also, if you guys see in the top right corner, top left corner, Productive Athletics Club. They jumped on to Fight Bananas. We're so pumped to have them. Go follow them on IG. They got some sick gear. We'll be wearing that stuff soon. But all right, let's get into it. 2 minutes. Let's talk about boxing, Keelan. Let's get into it. I have like 4 pillars to me of the show. We can take it anywhere. I feel like we should start oldest to newest, maybe, if that makes sense. So Ryan Garcia gets the win, gets the big upset win against Devin Hanley a couple weeks ago in Brooklyn, New York. It's been a chaotic time since. Did he do PEDs? Did he do multiple illegal drugs, illegal substances, back and forth? It felt like it was over. It felt like he got cleared. We're moving on. But I guess last night or the day before, Devin Hanley goes, no, I'm filing something in New York. This is unfair. He didn't like the weight cut. He doesn't like the PEDs. He's going after that one loss on his record. So let's start there. Is this circus ever going to stop, Keelan? What do you think about it? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's an interesting question because if you look at Ryan Garcia, it's sort of like you have to take the good with the bad. And you see this like when he fought Tank Davis and then when he fought Devin Haney. Brilliant fighter, but there's a lot of baggage that comes with him, especially lately. And Devin Haney, unfortunately, is just the latest victim of it. That's kind of just what it is. If I was Devin Haney, I'd be really upset, and I would definitely be looking to do something about it. I mean, look, if your opponent is disrespectful in the build-up and he acts like he doesn't care about the fight or things like that, that's one thing because that's just build-up. That happens to everybody. But to then go in overweight and potentially have been taking illegal performance-enhancing drugs, that would send anybody over the edge. And if I was Devin Haney, I would at the very, very least, I'd be demanding a rematch to set that right. But if he's going down the official route, like the legal route, overturning, to a no
Right.
contest or whatever it is he's looking for, I can see why he would do that as well. But if I was Devin Haney, I would probably look to overturn the fight and then I'd want a rematch, like to properly settle the score because it depends on whether he believes he can do it or not. I did see comments from Devin Haney after the fight where he basically said, I didn't beat him, he was better than me. And that was very interesting because usually with boxers, we see things like, no, this is absolute bullshit. I'm the better fighter. I know I
Right.
can do this.
Right.
And if you were at the weight and I was at the weight, I'd have absolutely kicked your ass. So for Devin Haney to seem almost subdued about it, that was really interesting. So I will be following this story, obviously with Fight Bananas, and we'll see where the trail leads.
So it's so funny what you just said, and I kind of never even thought this. Sometimes with me, and maybe it's just a personal thing. Like I don't like circuses in my life. Like I try to make it as clean as
I don't.
possible. I make my own iced coffee in the morning, so I don't have to go to Starbucks and spend $5. I have it at home as soon as I wake up. We have a crazy life, but I try to make it as simple and hey, we got dinner at this time. We got our boy had basketball practice last night. It's this, and this. Do you think Devin Haney would want to go back into that circus, back in the Ryan Garcia circus, if he gets this overturned? Just say he goes to New York, guys. There's shady stuff going on here. PEDs, the weight cut. so on and so on and so on. I wanted this overturned. And just say he wins. You threw out to me the idea that I didn't even think of, and he would want to get a rematch. I don't know if he would want to, Keelan. Like, I feel like if he gets it overturned, if you win in the court, like, dude, just wipe your hands off of the circus and move on. Am I wrong? Like, that's just my feeling. What is like?
No, it's a very interesting point of view, and I agree with you. I see where you're coming from. I think the problem is that with boxing and with combat sports as a whole, and we know this because we cover the sport 24/7, 365. The world goes round and so do we. But I think when it comes to the sport, there's so much ego involved and there's so much sort of drama and intensity involved that yes, you could win in the court, but it's a bit like Apollo Creed and Rocky 2. You'll probably understand this reference.
Yes,
It's like I won, but I didn't beat him. And
right.
usually with a fighter, and especially when you're the champion, the WBC champion, winning on paper or winning in court isn't enough. You got to win in the streets as well, and you got to win in the ring. That being said, with the sort of drama and all that's gone on, if Devin Haney just wanted to be rid of this, I would understand it because it's tiring enough just looking after yourself before a fight. You don't want to be worrying about, well, is my opponent going to show up? Is he going to make the weight? Is he going to care about this as much as I do? So usually I would advocate, looking the rematch and looking to do that. But in Devin Haney's case, I can see where the thinking is as well. I can understand that.
For sure, for sure. We'll jump right back to that. But guys, this is the first ever Boxing Bananas. Our main man, Jonathan Ramakhan, an absolute stud. We'll see him Saturday. He comes with a comment. He goes, hey guys, damn, Darren Till just got a boxing fight built. This is a boxing show. Jonathan's a superstar, so I don't want to even have him just talk about it and have us a comment. How about this just bring him on a live show? Let's just go 3 wide. Let's bring in more Fight Bananas family. Let's talk about it. Jonathan Ramakhan, my guy, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Can you guys hear me okay?
Dude, we hear you.
Beautiful. I'm actually logged in at work. I clocked in about 7 minutes ago, so I am technically on the clock while I'm doing this. But hey, there's boxing news that needs to be broken.
You're getting paid to talk fights. You're living the dream, Jonathan. We're all getting it. We're living it.
We're living the dream, baby. It's 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning, depending where you at. We got some boxing going. First Fight Bananas, Boxing Bananas. Here we got going on. Keelan and Dave. Listen to your first voices I heard when I woke up this morning. So it was beautiful to hear you guys. But yeah, Ariel Helwani.
Not the worst thing I've ever been told.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. All right, break the news to us, Jonathan. Break it.
We got Darren Till making his pro boxing debut on the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson card. He's facing Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at 6 3-minute rounds, 190 pounds. Thoughts?
What? Keelan's upset. I love it. I love it.
I think it's cool. I mean, I think Rhodes lead to Darren Till versus Mike Perry. You know, I do think that's the eventual matchup that we see. But I just think it's interesting. This is the first time we've seen Darren Till in a while, right? For him to take that time off, and actually come back. Do you think he was training boxing all that time? Because he was not able to stop a takedown for the last couple of fights of his UFC career.
Keelan,
you want to take this,
go
Steve?
First? I'm typing up Darren Till.
No, what a fight to be announced. First of all, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is not a reflection of his dad. I want to be clear to people who are if you're under the age of 40, you probably won't know who this is. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. is one of the greatest fighters to ever live. And he's one of the greatest fighters ever to come out of Mexico. Multiple-time world champion middleweight fighter in the 1980s. Absolutely epic fighter. And Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is not that. He was, quite frankly, he's an embarrassment on the Chavez name, to be completely truthful. Won a tin can WBC title, was just not a good fighter, not committed, missed weight a bunch of times. And he ended up fighting on like a Misfits card or something is the last time I think I saw him.
Yeah.
So hell, I mean, if Darren Till's going to fight any former world champion, why not Julio Cesar Chavez? Because Darren Till, I mean, I don't ever remember seeing him box terribly good. So why not fight a guy who also can't box terribly good but has the Chavez name? I see where it's coming from.
Isn't this who Anderson Silva also fought? And
that's who it was. Anderson Silva fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I mean, Chavez Sr. actually looked at Anderson Silva like he was the long lost son he always wanted. And he looked at Chavez Jr. like, you're just a piece of shit. Get out of here.
One big thing that hit me right away, and I just went on Twitter and I saw the tweet by Ariel Helwani. We'll make a post on Fight Bananas right after this live show that we're doing. Guys, 190 pounds. That is phenomenal for Darren Till. Like, Darren Till not to cut that weight. He always seems, a sucked out welterweight sometimes. For him to be big, like, keep the weight on, keep some water weight on, keep those shoulders. For him to box at 190 pounds, I think he's going to have massive pop. Like, I thought Darren Till always had pop, always had nice, clean hands. For him to box at 190 is great. Like, that's the first thing that jumps at me. Like, Darren Till will have pop. And also, let's just be honest, Darren Till is a bigger man than Mike Perry. So if he kind of solidifies him at 190, and Mike Perry is Mike Perry, he'll go, I'll fight you, box you anywhere. If Mike Perry, used to be a UFC lightweight, goes up to 190, that's a huge advantage to Darren Till in the future.
Yeah, I think with that side of things, the only difference is Mike Perry's been doing this so much longer when it comes to the boxing side of things, right? And I agree with you. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, let's just call a spade a spade. Mike Perry is built for, of course, bare knuckle and bare knuckle boxing, and is built for boxing, just his grit. I say this all the time. After the third round, it's like, who wants it more? There's literally just a bag of money in the middle of the ring or an octagon. What man has that will to go and take it? That's Mike Perry. That's Mike Perry in a nutshell. To me, Darren Till has always been the opposite, more skillful. I think he's got great hands, beautiful hands. But we saw him even in that Jorge fight. He was, to me, winning the beginning of the fight. And then Jorge's got that grit, got that metal, went to a couple different, I think it was the second or the third round. I believe the third round, that's when he knocked out Darren Till. It's like, to me, I remember the Darren Till DDP fight, Dracus du Plessis fight. Like, Dracus dragged him to the long, to the third round. And he just doesn't have that grit. To me, I would pick Mike Perry against him all day long. Just on that. He's like, I will take Mike Perry in the 8th round all day.
Yes, so would I. And listen, I saw Darren Till said that he wants to fight Mike, but not in bare knuckle, which is the only place anybody should want to watch it. So if that fight is going to happen, it's bare knuckle or nothing. Because, like, you've got a Scouser, you've got someone from Liverpool, and you've got Mike Perry. That writes itself in bare knuckle. That is a bare knuckle fight right there. The problem is that Mike Perry hits like a truck, and he's got a heart of iron. He just does. And Darren Till, quite frankly, is neither. So, yeah, it's a fight I want to see, but I only want to see it in bare knuckle. Because if it's professional boxing, it's not going to be as good. The gloves are going to weigh them both down. Let's see some damage get done, because that's the whole point of this.
Absolutely, guys. And before I let you all go, I am going to probably get a call soon. So I'm going to be dipping out here. Y'all boys have a wonderful rest of your show. I will be listening to you guys. Make sure you guys, if you're not already, like the show, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Because if you're not already, what are you doing? You're missing out. You're behind the curve when it comes to the MMA news stratosphere. We got the biggest growth going on Fight Bananas. Y'all boys have a great rest of your day.
Jonathan, man, thank you so much, brother. You came in and broke the news on our first Boxing Banana show. John, thank you. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, have a good one.
Dude, how cool is that? Keelan, insane.
I mean, that's my guy right there, Dave. That's our guy.
That's guy.
Jonathan.
How does, dude, I'm telling you guys, before on air, this is just to turn the curtains. The Fight Bananas is in a flow state right now. We have our first ever boxing show live and boxing news breaks at the same time. Keelan, we're just in a great spot. I don't know what to tell people right now.
Dave, it's just a sign, the combat sports gods love what we're doing. They love the idea that I brought to you just before we started about design. They love the fact that we are making boxing great again. And that should be a Fight Bananas t-shirt or hat or both. Wow. Yeah. Or no, making boxing bananas again.
Wow. Keelan.
Dave, too cold with it.
Dude, I love it. Yeah, we're doing that. Okay. Unbelievable. So, all right, Darren Till definitely derailed the show, but it is what it is, guys. We appreciate Jonathan for coming on breaking news. Ariel Helwani, we will credit the source. Ariel had a tweet we even talked about, we don't want to break more news here, but I think Fight Bananas will be definitely in the building at AT&T Stadium for the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight. that's even cooler that now Darren Till is on the card. We do probably the best fight, not the best fight. It's Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano is on the card. Cannot wait to see that live and in person. So I cannot wait. But guys, we got so much more to get into. I felt like we knocked out the Haney and Garcia. Let's keep on going. All right, our guy Lomo, my main man, the professor. John Rafford has been doing so much stuff here for Fight Bananas for years. His favorite all-time boxer to me is Lomo. Anytime Lomo's on, this is even before he got mainstream or cool, Keelan. My man John's like, dude, you got to watch this guy. He's an assassin, how cold he is. I know he's 18-3. He's one of my favorite boxers to watch. He got 11th round TKO just this past Saturday night. What did you think of Lomo's performance?
Man, Vasily Lomachenko is one of the modern greats. He absolutely is. And I don't think he gets the credit he deserves because he is one of the most skillful boxers you will ever find anywhere. And you know what the secret is, Dave? Dancing.
Yes, you're right. I remember that actually, now you're saying that.
Yeah, it's Ukraine. And I'll actually give you another fun fact. Do you know who Vasily Lomachenko's father trains?
No, I don't.
The man main eventing the biggest card of the year, Alexander Usyk.
Ooh.
Lomachenko.
That's called a transition to business.
The Lomachenko family are the reason a heavyweight can move the way he does because they took Lomachenko's fighting style, gave it to a cruiserweight, and now Usyk can move the way he does. So, I mean, Slava Ukraine, man, they're absolutely mad out there.
And I cannot wait. So this is, hey, you did it. We did it. Lomo, congratulations. 18-3. I'm intrigued to see what's next for him. He wants a big fight at the end of the year. He's threw out a couple different names. Very, very interested to see what's next for Lomo. But yes, Jonathan's right. The transition's on point. You mentioned Usyk. Keelan, I can't wait for this fight. Like I am definitely more of a boxing casual than I am an MMA. I watch everything in MMA. Boxing, I pick and choose my battles, right? There's only so much time and energy and money that you can be spending on it. I'm one of those people. I spend the money on pay-per-views. Don't, stream it like other people maybe out there in the world. So I will spend my hard-earned money on Saturday. Usyk versus Tyson Fury, boxing, Saudi Arabia. Look at the records, the rivalry. The fight was supposed to happen. Sometimes that's even Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo was supposed to happen a couple of times, did it. It almost hypes it up even more. In a weird way, this is perfect. This is the right time for this fight to happen. What do you think of this? Maybe the biggest boxing fight of 2024.
Dude, it's such a great fight. It really is a fantastic fight. I mean, look, Tyson Fury, you can have your thoughts on him. I mean, I know I have my own opinions of him, but the guy is as skillful as heavyweights get. Nobody should be able to move like a middleweight at 260 pounds, and yet Tyson Fury does, and that's to his credit. But in terms of skill, Alexander Usyk is probably the toughest opponent that Tyson Fury's ever faced. And he might be the toughest that he ever will face because of everything we've mentioned. The footwork, the work rate especially is huge as well. It's how he shut down Anthony Joshua twice when they both fought. It's how he shut down Tony Bellew when he defended his cruiserweight title. What makes Alexander Usyk very different from a lot of opponents is that he is going to go straight into Tyson Fury. He's not going to take the back foot in this fight. He's going to push the pace. He's going to use his footwork. He's going to make Fury work hard in there. He's going to jab. He's going to bob. He's going to weave. And historically, Tyson Fury has struggled against smaller fighters. He's been knocked down before by cruiserweights like Steve Cunningham about 10 years ago, flattened him with a right overhand because he didn't see it coming. So if Usyk can implement that footwork, use that work rate, use his phenomenal gas tank. If he can put all this together, he will be the toughest opponent that Tyson Fury has ever faced skill-wise, and I'm confident about saying that. The one disadvantage that Usyk has is the one thing he can't control, which is size. Obviously, Fury's massive. He's nearly 7 feet tall. And Usyk's about 5'11", 6 foot. So there's going to be a huge disparity in height and reach in natural attributes that he can't control. But if Usyk can work his way around those, then we're in for a technical boxing masterclass on Saturday night from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
That's what I'm expecting. I think both men understand the legacy of this fight, right? I know it's so hyperbolic to say whoever wins this fight has the corner or has the projection of being maybe the greatest heavyweight to ever live. Like this is a part of that dynasty. It doesn't mean whoever wins this fight gets it right away. They still need to put more on that legacy paper, but whoever wins this fight has that corner. It's a humongous fight. Two things you said I loved. One is I feel like heavyweight, especially in boxing, at least for the last 8 years, 6 years, in my humble opinion, have been more of this power puncher, maybe a little bit more sloppy, more athletic, and just, hey, we're going to throw some big shots. And if we get you, we get you. These two men can do that as well. They can throw the big shot, but they're so technical. They're so smooth. They're so precise. They're so in tune of every shot they're throwing. You're going to see a bazillion jabs in the main event. You know, you're just going to see pop, 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 pop all night long. I love that. You said something that I kind of want to double down and ask you again. Do you think Usyk has an advantage on the cardio side? You think he's going to push the pace? You think he's going to run the gas pedal down? Do you think Usyk has better cardio in this fight, or will have better cardio in this fight?
To be honest, yeah, I actually do think he will have better cardio. A lot of it'll depend on which Tyson Fury you see in the ring, because we're not going to get the one we saw against Francis Ngannou, who just hadn't trained. We're just not going to see that. But people really underestimate Usyk's gas tank. You know, I saw somewhere, I think it might have been even True Geordie, who's a brilliant YouTube channel. Shout out Brian from True Geordie who said this. You know, Usyk does 4-minute rounds in sparring with a 30-second break in between. So when he gets into the ring competitively, he's ready and he is locked and loaded, ready to go. And I think where Tyson might struggle is that he is going to fight off the back foot for at least part of this fight, where Fury's used to sort of taking the center of the ring, doing whatever he wants. Usyk isn't going to let him do that. He is going to look to push the pressure, to sort of put the piece together. Basically, the word blanked on me, and he's going to look to really put this all together. And if Fury can deal with that, then great. But if not, Usyk's got a really good chance here. And one thing I actually wanted to say and piggy off that you mentioned, which is legacy. One of these men is going to make huge history, and I'm going to tell you why. If Tyson Fury wins, he's the first undisputed heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis, which is huge for the sport. If Alexander
when was that?
Usyk,
When did Lennox do that? Late 90s? Early 2000s?
Late 90s, early 90s, before Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko took over the division. Right. So it'll basically be the first undisputed champion in about 20 or so years, which is massive. If Alexander Usyk wins, he'll be the only other fighter in history to have won undisputed titles at cruiserweight and heavyweight. And do you know who the other one was, Dave?
I don't. Roy Jones.
Holyfield.
Oh, Evander. I got you. Yep.
So if Usyk wins, he will be in rarefied air. It'll be him and Evander Holyfield standing alone. And if Usyk does it, he is probably top 5 best heavyweights of all time.
Right off the rip. Like if a Sunday morning he gets a W, especially a TKO, he's 4th or 5th, you think, all time?
He's in that conversation, absolutely, because
I mean, it's such a big fight.
If you look at what he's achieved in his career already, being an undisputed cruiserweight champion, that already puts him in the discussion of great boxers. But to win undisputed belts at cruiserweight and heavyweight and beat the best heavyweight of his generation in Tyson Fury, I don't see that doesn't put him over the top.
Yeah, that's incredible. Incredible, Keelan. All right, look at this comment here by Dawson. We will see Tyson re-erect himself again. That was one of the best moments in boxing history. I just loved it. It's like one of those things. It's especially in 2020 and 2024, like all these memes and social media, like that. I've seen that video 1,000 times in so many different ways. The Undertaker, of course, was a big part of that and everything of that nature. But that's a good one, Dawson. We like that a lot. Okay, I think we hit it. Let's ask us. This is what we do here. Who do you have winning this fight? Do you have Fury or do you have Usyk winning this fight? And do you think it's going to be a clean fight?
I don't think Fury is going to make it a clean fight. I think he's going to look to use his size and his weight, and he's going to try and lean on. He's going to try and do what Francis Ngannou did to him against Usyk. He's going to try and drain the gas tank. He's going to try and lean him up against the ropes, throw in some dirty boxing in the clinch. And Usyk is probably going to believe in himself enough, in his technical ability, that he will want it to be a clean fight. Usyk's going to want to push him around the ring. He's going to want to use that jab a lot. He's going to switch stances a lot to keep Fury guessing. And overall, I just think it's going to be a very, very classic chess match type fight. And that's kind of why I'm interested in it, because I want to see who can implicate the fight IQ better than the other. I don't know if either fighter has got enough to knock the other out, but I think they're both capable of outclassing the other in terms of pure skill. So I'm actually going to go for the upset, and I'm going to say Alexander Usyk wins.
Hey, it's the first show ever, and sometimes it would be fun to go back and forth like those guys on ESPN and yell at each other. Keelan, I agree. I have Usyk winning this fight. I just there's something about like the Clubber Lang and Rocky 3. To me, Usyk is more that guy. Fury has been on top. He's lived in silk sheets for multiple years. I know he won the Francis Ngannou fight. I'm not saying he didn't, but there's something about coming off of that and just, if that's how he looked, and I will assume Tyson Fury will look better Saturday for sure. But there's just sometimes you just can't turn that switch back on. You just cannot have that primal animal underdog thing that Tyson had in the 90s and what I think Usyk has now. I like Usyk winning this fight.
So do I. And I know we're not talking about MMA, but you brought up Rocky 3, so I kind of have to briefly mention it. Clubber Lang is Tom Aspinall. That's all I'm going to say.
We'll get there. That's a whole nother podcast. That's a whole nother show for another day. I love that.
It's a different thing we do, guys.
Yes, sir. All right. Last one on our docket today, guys. July 20th, AT&T Stadium. It's where the Dallas Cowboys play stadium. I was lucky enough to go to that. You can't even say arena. It's stadium, monument. It's the ninth wonder in the world. It's one of the most epic things I've ever seen. I walked around it. It is humongous. Like, me talking about it does not even do it justice. They will have one of the biggest boxing matches of the summer. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson will be there. Jonathan just came on the show and broke news. Darren Till will fight on that card. The co-main event, Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor, maybe the best fight of 2023, is back on this card as the co-main. So it's a great card. They had a press conference 2 days ago in New York City, and we got exactly what you probably thought we were going to get, an absolute circus. You have kids cussing. You got people yelling. There was no fights of anything. There wasn't no John Fury headbutting anyone. I know we skipped over that. Maybe we'll hit that at the very end, Keelan. But it was
choice of words, Steve.
yeah, exactly. What the thing that I took from it, I'll just start here and then we can just run with it. I felt Jake Paul usually has an edge about him. Usually has I'm going to quote unquote hatred towards his opponent. This me against the world. This guy's trying to, do all this. He didn't have that against Mike. He kind of said a couple one-liners and zingers, but you can tell, at least I feel like I can tell both men kind of respect each other. They both know they're doing good business together. It was a little bit of a different press conference from I'm used to of a Jake Paul stealing hats and fighting on stage. It was different.
It was different, but you got to remember, this is a man that bit Evander Holyfield's ear off. If you think pissing off Mike Tyson is smart, then you are the stupidest person that ever walked God's earth. Jake's being smart here, and I'm actually glad you brought that up because I agree with you. The best way to fight Mike Tyson is to not piss off Mike Tyson, because you want him as docile as possible. If you unlock the animal and you awaken the beast, I don't care if he's 57 or 107, that animal never goes away. It might be locked a lot deeper inside than it was before, but if you wave a red flag at a bull, eventually the bull's going to charge at you. And Yeah, exactly. Dave Matador Van Auken over here. But yeah, he's absolutely right. Keep it professional, keep it respectful, and keep it moving. Because you do not want to annoy Mike Tyson. It doesn't matter how old he is, because Jake knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fighting a pensioner version of arguably the most dangerous fighter to ever live. But even if you annoy him at 57, however old he is, he will still, that fire will still be there. And if you ignite it, I don't want to be anywhere near when it explodes.
Yeah, and we talked about it a little bit off air. We'll hit on it right here. And Mike Tyson said it on the press conference. He feels he's going to put Jake Paul in real danger. I think Mike will have a couple chances, a couple flurries, a couple. You're like, whoa, that was Mike Tyson from 1997. Like you said, you never lose it. You just can't do it as long as you once did. Like a best country music artist, they can go on stage right now and one song knock it out of the park, right? Like the Rolling Stones are still rocking. They just can't do it for multiple hours like they did during the 80s or the 70s, however long it is. So I think Jake Paul needs to avoid those couple little flurries, a couple little spots that Mike kind of goes for it. He needs to hug him. He needs to hang him. He needs to dance. He needs to move out of the way. He needs to, play defense. Because at least in my point of view, if this fight goes 4th, 5th, 6th, if the longer this fight goes, it's definitely better for Jake, right? I would assume Jake's going to be in great shape. He's had boxing matches, has went multiple rounds before. Tyson hasn't done this in 14 years, going the 7th or 8th round. So I definitely think the longer the fight goes, better for Jake Paul. I'm getting more intrigued. When this fight was announced, I was 99% sure Jake Paul was going to win. I'm 70% sure today here on May 14th or 15th. So I'm getting closer to that fine line, and that's where they have us. That's where the money will be made, and we'll be watching on Netflix. But also if you have anything else on this fight, definitely hit on it. If not, I definitely want to bring some light to Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Like this fight, man, female, MMA, boxing, doesn't matter. This is must-see TV. It's free on Netflix if you have it. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano 2.
Oh, what a fight, Dave. What a fight. Just chef's kiss of a fight. It's just as good as you can get. The last thing I'll say about Mike Tyson before we give Katie Taylor and Serrano the time that they deserve, if we get Mike Tyson walking out Arlington, Texas, AT&T Stadium, no music, just the chains rattling like against Michael Moore. If we get the all black trunks, the stir against Peter McQueely after he came out of prison, oh, Dave, you don't know what that'll do to my soul if I see that. That will be just perfect, absolutely perfect. But anyway, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, what a fight this is going to be. Their first match is probably the greatest women's boxing match ever. It's one of the greatest women's combat sport events ever. It's basically the equivalent is Joanna and Weili Zhang. It's that in boxing. That's the best way of putting it.
And real quick, Keelan, I'm going to interrupt. I apologize, my friend. I would even triple down on that. They headlined Madison Square Garden. So they had all the pressure on their shoulders. The first female, fight to ever do that. And for them to over-deliver the hype and what we thought we were going to get that night, even Weili and Zhang, like we thought it was going to be a good fight, but it was just kind of a little under-expected. Like, wow, that was awesome. Those girls, Amanda and Katie, headlined the most famous arena in the world, and they over-delivered. It's insane.
And the best thing about it was as well the crowd. 50% my beautiful Irish tricolor, the other 50% the pride of Puerto Rico. You've got two of the best groups of people on God's earth in terms of sporting fans. You've got Ireland, you have Puerto Rico in Arlington, Texas. You are going to get such a good crowd for this fight. I can't even tell you what it's going to be like. God willing, I'll try and find a way to be there. If I got to sneak over the border, I'll do that. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a masterpiece of a fight. It'll hopefully be just as good as the last one, if not better. And if it is somehow better, well, then I'll be shocked because the first one over-delivered in every way you can imagine.
Insane. It's just, and what they're doing too, you can see it. they're getting, to me, that, the stadium can hold 80,000, 100,000 seats. I think they had over 100,000 for WrestleMania 4 years ago, somewhere in there. Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar. There you go. They have Jake Paul. They have the YouTube. Acknowledge. Okay. They have Jake Paul. They have the YouTube crowd and the new generation of boxing crowd. They got Tyson, the original, the old school generation crowd. They got females. They got Puerto Rico. They got Ireland, right? Now they bring in Darren Till. They're bringing this MMA crowd. They're bringing England. They know what they're doing over there at MVP Promotions. They know what they're doing.
Now they've got Liverpool added to the mix. Do you have any idea what that's going to be like, Dave? You've got Scousers, Irish, Puerto Ricans, and Americans.
You're not going to keep the alcohol bill is going to be outrageous there at AT&T Stadium.
I hope they need 100,000 cases of Budweiser because they're going to drink that place clean.
Yeah, unbelievable, man. 36 minutes felt like it was 3. That's when you know it was a good show. Oh, here we go. New question. I didn't see this. I'm sorry, guys. For the casual boxing fan, is there anyone on the undercard to keep your eye on?
Good question, Dawson. I'm actually going to have a look at the undercard because I'm not going to lie to anybody. I haven't actually looked at it.
Yeah, I still think they're building it out too. I feel like that. Yeah. They just announced Darren Till's on the card.
So. Yeah. I'm going to have a look here and see. Let's have a look here on CBS and see if they have the full card, because that's a good question. And especially because we try to represent the fans, it's good to know if there are people you should be keeping an eye on. Let's see. Those are the fight odds. I don't see anything about the undercard. Oh, here we are. Just give me a second and I'll see what I can find. But it's going to be a brilliant event. I have to, because like you said, Dave, and you're right, what they're doing is they're very cleverly gathering a lot of different fan bases. And even if one tunes out, you've basically got 3 or 4 others that will take their place.
Right.
So very, very, very clever marketing from them. Where is this? I genuinely cannot see this undercard anywhere.
I'm telling you, I really don't think they have it filled out yet. I really don't, because it is July 20th. They probably have a couple fights in mind, but maybe they haven't announced it. For them just to announce Darren Till today is a big. I know it's not to the boxing, and we're here for the boxing fans, but guys, I'm telling you, Darren Till and Chavez, that's cool. That's good for that night. I think that's it makes sense. It makes sense. Let me just say that.
Yeah, it makes sense because you've got good star power with them both. You know, it's like old and new, like you've said.
Yes.
This is the common theme. You've got old school fans who recognize, even though he's not the same as his dad. I want to make that very clear. You've got the Chavez name. You've got Darren Till, who everybody knows from the UFC.
Yep.
You know, it's clever marketing. And look, I don't think it's going to be a great fight. I'm going to make that very clear. I don't think it's going to be any good. But it's clever marketing, and it will put butts in seats. So, yeah, can't really complain from that point of view.
I totally agree. Totally agree. Guys, before we go, make sure you check our new sponsor, Productive Athletics Club. Go follow them on IG. And I'm telling you guys, they have their T-shirts. Like, before they even became a sponsor, they when we started talking, I was like, oh, I want 2 of those. Sick T-shirts, nice black with a little thunderbolt. They got hoodies. They got some joggers. I don't know. In Florida, joggers are a must. So head to their IG at Productive Athletics Club. There we go. Hey, Keelan, I think we absolutely did it. So we got Usyk winning Saturday in Saudi. I'm leaning more and more towards your Mike Tyson. I know how you feel about that. Haney and Garcia is still a real life circus. Lomo gets a win. I think we did pretty damn good. First ever boxing bananas.
Yeah, and John Fury should be in prison. So let's see where we go with that.
This is the point of view of that just a wholesome kid, John Fury. Dude, unreal. We posted it on Fight Bananas. It is a Fury fight week. That just like solidified Fury is here. His father is such a character. Like, they should just have a camera on him, like, they do embeddeds for the UFC. They should have a John Fury embedded this whole week.
A John Fury GoPro.
Yeah, what is he thinking?
Which would have been smashed, by the way.
I know it would have. Unbelievable. Guys, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Fight Bananas Official on IG. It's on our Facebook page, everything. Keelan, where can people follow you? Where can people see you? They need to see you more often.
Well, first of all, Dave, I don't think people want to see me, which I understand. It's fine. No, guys, I'm on all your regular social media platforms. I'm on an AOL mail account. If you feel like writing to me there, I still think it's 1996. I don't care. I've still got an AOL account. You can email me on there. I'm on Instagram at McNamara Keelan. Twitter is Keelan_McNamara. I'm on Facebook. I'm still on Snapchat for some reason because that's for 14 years. Because that's for 14-year-olds. I don't even know why I'm on it. But yeah, I'm on there. And if there's any great social media accounts that come up afterwards, I'll probably join them too. But the main spot you can find me, ladies and gentlemen, the main spot is right here on Fight Bananas. But now Boxing Bananas as well. You won't get rid of me just yet. We'll see you next week.
Definitely. There you go. I don't really have to end it himself, Keelan, with he had the out button on it and killed it. Guys, appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time. Absolutely first edition of Boxing Bananas. Keelan's the man. Hey, shout out to our main man, Jonathan. Was not supposed to be on the show. He's working, coming on to do a live with us for 5 minutes to break the Darren Till news. Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you guys. Oh, tonight, 9 p.m. is Betting Bananas. Make sure UFC Vegas 93, if you want to make that moolah, come on through. We'll see everyone sooner or later. Later, guys.